This is Niels on Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe, or I'll sick Tom after you. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. Buy yourself some silver and some platinum because it's always a good thing to have quite a bit of. And crystallized osmium as well. It's a new product. I'm going to be offering it on my website soon, or on my page, shall I say. But as I always say, that's not what this is about. This is more in line with platinum and problems that BRICS has in South Africa, because South Africa is the world leading miner of platinum. So, if they lead the production of platinum and their country is a shithole country, could explain why the price is going down, or why I said in my last video, China is kind of screwing them real hard. But, that's not what this is about. This is about them telling you that, not me telling you that. And this is about an hour ago from the New African Channel, private security versus the police in South Africa's power shift. Dun, dun, dun!
To better understand this story, it is crucial to throw the spotlight on crime in South Africa. The sun-kissed landscapes of South Africa, Africa's leading economic powerhouse, hold a brutal secret. It also harbors one of the world's highest violent crime rates. In 2023, a grim symphony of violence played out daily, with an average of 75 murders and 400 armed robberies every 24 hours. This isn't a new tune. After a period of decline, the past decade has seen a sharp crescendo of violence. Murder spiked from 16,213 in 2012 to 2013 to a gut-wrenching 27,494 in the year to February 2023. South Africa's homicide rate in 2022
27,000 a year. Look at this. Homicide rate numbers. 45. America's way down there, and we have a crime problem. Theirs seems to be a lot worse than ours.
2023 was 45 per 100,000 people, compared with a rate of 6.3 in the United States and around 1 in most European countries. Fear pervades every corner, with shadows seeming to hold not just lurking darkness, but ever-present threat of brutality. This rising tide of violence drowns out hope, leaving its victims and all South Africans questioning the very foundation of their safety. A palpable sense of delusionment hangs heavy in the air. The justice system, meant to be a bastion of hope, feels like a crumbling fortress, riddled with cracks and failing to adequately protect its citizens. Conviction rates plummet, leaving perpetrators to walk free, emboldened by impunity. This perceived impotence of the justice system fuels a vicious cycle of violence, breeding desperation that can only be assuaged in the shadows, far from the reach of a seemingly broken legal system. The brutal reality of crime in South Africa transcends mere statistics. It's etched in the haunted eyes of mothers who've lost children, the constant vigilance that mars every outing, and the fear that creeps in the dusk. It's a country grappling with the legacies of its past, the deep scars of inequality, and the complex web of social issues that feed the flames of violence. Experts have long warned that South African police service is losing the war on crime as things get bleaker, and as a result,
Hold on a second now. BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. One of the top 5 leaders of BRICS. Double the murder rate, quadruple the robbery rate, police out of control, can't control society, private militias starting up, and all because they hate the dollar. Really? So they're going to allow that because they've been part of BRICS for like 10 years. So ain't none of the dollar's fault going on down there. So when y'all get all happy about BRICS being this all good, great, godly thing, consider the corruption of the countries and the corruptibility of the countries that are in BRICS. Let's get back to the South Africa BRICS story. Make sure to like and subscribe when you see 27,000 dead people in South Africa because of crime.
Wealthy South Africans are turning to a rapidly expanding sector to guarantee their safety: private security. The Private Security Industry Regulation Authority, or PSIRA, reports that there are over 2.7 million registered private security offices in the nation, making South Africa's security sector one of the biggest in the world. In contrast, there are less than 150,000 police officers serving the 62 million citizens of the nation.
So basically, they have 2.7 million private army defending the citizens that can afford the cost of that law enforcement private defense, because they only have 150,000 cops for 62 million people, but yet they got 2.5 million private security for 62 million. Private security doesn't work for the 62 million. It's only for the rich.
Nation. Private security firms get paid a monthly fee to patrol neighborhoods and offer armed responses to alarms set off by their clients. They also provide tracking and vehicle recovery services, which frequently leads to them engaging in fast-paced pursuits, vehicle thieves, and hijackers. According to the PSIRA statistics, the number of security companies operating in South Africa has expanded by 43% to feeling stressed and frustrated, while the number of security professionals who are registered has climbed by 44%. So, what impact has the rise of private security firms had on overall safety in crime-ridden South Africa? To put it simply, the surging tide of crime has stretched the South African police service force thin, and private security firms are increasingly stepping in to fill the void. Indeed, PSIRA figures show that over 580,000 private security guards are currently active and employed in South Africa, more than the country's police service and army combined. Consequently, they bring much needed swiftness and visibility to crime prevention, deterring would-be criminals, and offering residents a sense of immediate protection. However, concerns linger about the unequal access to these private security firms,
Bingo.
widening the gap between communities. Only an affluent few can afford to hire private security, so the majority of South Africans must still rely on an under-resourced and struggling police force. People with money make up a very small percentage of South Africa. That means that the vast majority of South Africans don't really benefit from this security industry, said Chuck Thomas, an organized crime expert who has worked more than 30 years in law enforcement and now in private security. If you live in a traditional township environment, or if you live in an informal sector, it is few and far between that you will see security patrols in those areas because they do not have paying customers. In summary, the ascent of private security in South Africa as a dominant force in maintaining law and order is a response to the escalating crime rate and the perceived ineffectiveness of the traditional police force. Private security, with over 2.7 million registered officers, has stepped into a role once held by the police, providing a crucial layer of protection against the rampant violence in the country. However, the reliance on private security raises significant concerns, including issues of regulation and accountability. And it is also not a good sign that it is now almost impossible to identify any function of the public police that is not somewhere and under some circumstances assumed.
Yeah, go BRICS. Go BRICS. I think BRICS is going to be something special one day. It's not anytime soon. It's going to take South Africa quite a long time to get over the civil unrest that they're going through right now that's unreported by mass media. But everyone supports BRICS, and that's a reason not to look at exactly what these BRICS countries are doing. You should look at China. Oh my God. The civil unrest, the slave-like conditions of labor for you to make profit on your stocks, it's unsustainable. It's unsustainable. And, as far as that goes, the only decent country that's entered BRICS that I can think of would be India and Ethiopia. Brazil's going through civil unrest. China's going through civil unrest. South Africa's going through civil unrest. Don't get too many reports out of Russia, so I can't say anything about them. But, we'll eventually get reports out of them. So the civil unrest in a majority of the BRICS nations countries for the governments, against the governments or whatever in that country, is off the hook and not being reported. So before you get too hyped up on, oh, as soon as they have a digital payment system, all those murders, they'll just quit. Okay, yeah, not going to solve any problems there, people. But what it will do is it'll keep you from asking questions on why they still have accelerating problems. You saw the death rate in what, like 5 years, it doubled. Death rate, murder rate doubled. 27,000 people a year. My God, man, in 5 years, that'd kill everyone in this town. I only live in a town of 120,000. 5 years of the murder rate in South Africa, and this town would be devoid of people. That's quite a few. Go BRICS.